Yours truly, that means me by the way, I like to say yours truly because I'm English, but I have a real thing for like old antiquated like 19th century, early 20th century English. And that involves using phrases like yours truly. Anyway, I was a member of like the pickup community, right? And I was a member of that community for years and years and years. But I'm no longer a member of the community. And like, why? Well, here's the deal. I got into the pickup community for the same reason that most of you guys are watching this video, which was that I had a dearth. That means like a lacking of female attention, female connection. And I really wanted it, right? And the pickup community was great for me at that time because it taught me all sorts of very useful techniques that totally worked. If you're in a club and you see a woman, say this, say that. Don't walk up to the woman that you want, go to the whole group, because when you speak to the whole group, you win them over and they won't get jealous. And because they don't get jealous, they won't pull you away from the one that you want. But hey, while you're actually talking to the whole group, ignore the one that you want and be that cool guy. So then it reaches a point where she's like, whoa, why is it that this cool guy is ignoring me while talking to everybody else? I want his attention. So now the one that you want actually wants you more and all of that stuff. And it totally worked. You're in the club and they say, hey, how many followers have you got on social media? And you go, well, I've got 2,000. They go, what? You've only got 2,000? That's rubbish. Now, you let that roll off your back like water from a duck. You don't try to protect yourself, defend yourself. You go, yeah, I am a complete loser. That is true. And then they're like, whoa, how centered and self-assured must he be to be reacting like that to our insult? My God, attraction has gone up. It's gone through the roof. When you see a woman on the street, right? Now you gotta stop right in front of her. Why? Because if you stand to the side while she's walking, you're in the periphery and you're not real to her. You've got to be in front, right? Here's another one. You're speaking, you approach a woman no matter where the hell she is. Maybe she's with her friends. Maybe she's in a library. Maybe she's at a club. The energy level that you have when you say hello needs to be slightly higher than where she's at. Why? Because if your energy level is lower, then you won't be noticed. Right, but it needs to be calibrated. So if it's a library and she's whispering, you whisper with slightly more intensity. If they're in a club and they're being really loud, you've got to be even louder to get their attention. All of that stuff, right? The standard pickup stuff. Did it work? Yes, it did. But here's the thing. Why did it work? It worked because all of these techniques, which were put together by hundreds of thousands of men over a course of decades, they imply certain things about you. And the things that they imply is being grounded, being confident, being self-assured, being socially connected, being unflappable. They imply all of those things. And at some point over the years, I realized that all of the techniques I was using were there to imply traits. And that rather than need the techniques, you could just cultivate the traits. So like that was a big thing when I realized that. Another thing is like in the pickup community, you see how many men are miserable in the pickup community. Right now we're in a space where there's a gender war between men and women, which I don't believe is there by accident at all. I think it's a very deliberate psychological operation that's been done. Because if you get people like at loggerheads and they're constantly fighting, well, they're miserable, right? And if they're miserable, they're easier to control. But anyway, there's this gender war, right? So now in like the pickup community, like let's say I was a part of Game Global. And I got nothing against Game Global at all. I was one of the founders of Game Global. And Game Global is what? Like a international community of men learning to enhance their abilities to attract the opposite sex. All right, cool. And in Game Global, we had discussion groups and like Telegram groups where men would just get together and chat and blah, blah, blah. There's so much ego in there. And there's so much ego because every man came from the same place, which is the reason why I'm learning this stuff is because I feel like I'm inherently lacking, or at least I did at one point. And I realized that being the nice guy that society told me to be didn't work. Oh, so being Mr. Strong, powerful, dominant, alpha male force, that works. So then that means I need to overcompensate and I need to be a prick. Because if I am very arrogant, if I am very aggressive, if I'm over the top, That's me being masculine and manly. When I first got into the scene some 20 odd years ago, it was kind of like we're all men in it together. All men in it together, and we're all like one for all and all for one. Something I realized, like being in Game Global, it's like it was weird. So I was making content to genuinely help men. But then the men that I'm making the content for to genuinely help, like loads of them, don't actually like you. Because it's like, well, who are you? Who the hell are you that I should listen to you? Yeah, you're a piece of crap, aren't you? There's like no like real unity at all. It's like, bro, I'm taking large personal risk to run this community so that you have a place to go to communicate with other men, to better yourself. You wouldn't do this publicly. Nobody who knows you knows that you're a part of this community. I've created this community for you, and I'm taking personal risk for you to help you. But anyway, so the community was very like egoic and toxic. Then I realized throughout the years that like Game Global's a part of the Red Pill community, right? Cool. Is the Red Pill community right about a ton of stuff? 100% it is. It really is. Society at large will tell you that women just want a man who listens and who cares. And it's like, what it doesn't tell you is they might want a man who listens and who cares, but they want to be attracted to the man who listens and who cares. And while society at large will tell you that the listening and caring is what creates attraction, no, it isn't. It isn't at all. So being an attractive man has nothing to do with being a good person. Being an attractive woman has nothing to do with being a good person. A woman can be a sexy stripper, but be like a really, really, really evil person, but she's still sexy and she'll still dance and grind, and men will get erections even though she's not a good person. On the flip side, a man being a good person, we all know kind men that no women want, right? But then a man can be like this NBA basketball player with all of the status in the world, and he can treat women like crap, and women will still line up to be with him because of everything that he has. All right, being a good person has nothing to do with being sexually attractive. And that's true. But then like the Red Pill will have you believe that, well, I mean, these women aren't here to be communicated with, and that it's not possible at all. They're all like not even necessarily evil, but like malevolent entities where they don't have the ability or the desire to understand the male perspective. And I just don't. I've never agreed with that, and I don't want to live in the world where that is actually the case. And as you can see from looking at this channel, so like I'm having conversations with women where I don't agree with everything they say at all. And I don't sell men out, do I? I don't say, oh yeah, you're right, men are just the villains. And oh, you poor woman. You're such a poor woman because you're psychologically perfect and all of these men are pieces of shit. I don't do that. I tell these women the truth. But if you notice, like, they listen, right? They do. But I'm also not like denying their issues as well. Like, everybody has their issues. But the point is, the sorts of women that I speak to on this channel, the Red Pill will tell you don't exist. Because women don't care. They don't care at all. Here's what women are for, right? Women exist because every now and then your penis gets erect. And when that happens, you need something to put your penis into, right? And that's her role. And you put your penis into that thing, and then stuff comes out of the penis, and then eventually she will give birth to your male heir, and there you go. But fundamentally, you and her don't have any form of connection at all. That ain't the way it works. And that you don't even want that to be the way it works as well, because, gosh, if you actually form a connection with her, she's going to lose attraction for you because a woman can't be attracted to a man that she's connected to and all that stuff, which is BS. That's BS at all. I mean, that literally is BS. That's why I left, because I don't believe that's true. It doesn't sync up with what I've seen. And so what I'm doing is, like, why am I doing this? Because there's the red pill and there's a blue pill, right? And it's like red pills, like, yeah, we don't give a fuck, blah, blah, blah. And blue pills, like, hugs, kisses, kumbaya, and none of that red pill stuff is true. But both sides have a point. So I'm taking what works from both sides, and I'm just being me. It's like, it's not like I'm taking some from here and some from there. This isn't like a conscious thing. I'm just following the path that I know to be true. And what I know to be true is, yes, Like, it's being a strong, grounded man. Like, what you gotta be, what you wanna be, yeah. But does that mean that you don't have a heart? No, it's bullshit. That's total bullshit. So it's a scary thing because I am forging a new path that nobody has done that I can see. I'm the first guy doing this stuff, right? If you're in the red pill and you see me, it's like, oh, he's a bit of a pussy, isn't he? But I mean, wow, he's connecting with these women in a way that I don't have the ability to. Gosh. So while I want to call a man a pussy, it's like, I can't deny that there's something he has that I don't. But anyway, there's that. And then there's the blue pill. It's like, I don't know, man. He seems a bit red-pilled for me. But these women, they seem to really like spending time with him, don't they? And they enjoy his company. And anyway, so I'm being me, and it's a scary thing. But it's a rewarding thing. And it's an amazing thing because the more I make this content, right, the more I get messages from guys like you who are like, hey, I'm watching your stuff and I'm learning so much from you. It's changed my life. Like, I've had people in the past week or two tell me that this content has changed their lives without even working with me. But like, just watching the content, watch how I interact with women, watching the conversations that I'm having, watching the topics that I am illuminating them to. You know, like semen retention, for instance, and the benefits of that and things like this. It's entirely rewarding. So if there is a red pill and there is the blue pill, then I guess I would be purple pill. Effectively. And if you are watching this video and, well, you obviously are watching the video, it's impossible for you to not be watching the video because you're listening to my words. But the point is, if you resonate with me and you're like, there's something about this guy that I actually quite like. I like that. If you like the idea of it's like, look, yeah, am I a bitch? No, I'm not. Like, I'm not. If you start some shit with me, will bad things happen to you? Yeah, it will. But at the same time, do I have a heart? Yeah. Do I have the ability to cuddle? Yes, I do. Like, can I do the two things at once? Right? Can I do the two things at once? Can I be a man that can go through all sorts of pain, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, whatever, and say, like, I'm going to bite down on my gum shield like a UFC fighter, yeah? I'm going to bite down on my gum shield like Paddy Pimblett against Justin Gagey when Paddy is getting destroyed, but he's just not giving up at all. Because no matter how bad it gets, I cannot quit at all. Right? Okay, I got that. But at the same time, do I have a heart and soul and want to treat people well? Yeah. So if that resonates with you, then you are part of the tribe. If you have had enough of this stupid culture war, right? Or gender war, should I say? You are part of the tribe. If you do not want to live in a world where it's like, well, there's men and there's women and, you know, they're the enemy. The enemy. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemies. You don't want to live in that world. Cool. Then here we go. You want to learn how to form connections with women. Form connections. While at the same time being strong, powerful, confident, all that kind of stuff. You have joined the tribe. If you want to learn from me, work with me, then for the love of God, you should do that. There's a link on the screen right now. And I appreciate you. But yeah, it's like, if there's something that is a thread that runs through all of my content that I don't call out directly enough, it's that. Be your own person. Be you and be you unapologetically. Because no matter what you do, people will be inspired or they will hate it or whatever, but none of those people are paying your bills. So for instance, I'm making this content right now and you're watching the content and you have an opinion of me based on this content, but your opinion of me doesn't really affect me, does it? Like, it doesn't. I'm still just being me regardless. And so many people are afraid to be themselves because they're worried about the judgment that's going to come from other people. But like, what fucking judgment, man? I'm going to be dead in like some 40, 50 years. I think reincarnation is true. I think so. But I don't know that for a fact. I think so. But either way, like Kieran Brown, right? Like, even if it is true, right? Cool. And then my soul just like friggin' ejects from this body like a World War II fighter pilot and then just goes to do something else. All right, cool. But Kieran Brown's gone. This experience, me with my chocolatey brown skin, like Jamaican heritage, that's done, right? 50 years, 60, 70, I ain't gonna be here forever. So who actually gives a fuck? Really, just be you. Anyway, that's one thread from my content. Another one is, just live. Basically, reality is so much more than you thought. And hey, my guest has now arrived. Come in. Come in. All right, so I made this video like so because I was waiting for a guest to arrive and she didn't turn up, or she hadn't turned up yet. But now she's here, so now this solo video is now going to turn into a podcast. So, yeah.